Hello everyone, this is Krithika Krishna, your English language and IELTS coach from Learn with BKK. So I bring to you today a very important video tutorial which would help not only English language learners but also IELTS aspirants. So what is it going to be? Let's get started. Let's know what today's video lesson is all about. It is about your past. Yes, there will be a lot of situations where you are asked about your past. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you a very simple concept of how to speak correctly when there are things pertaining to your past. In short, if I take the grammar lingo, then we are going to learn the application of simple past tense. But why? Why do we need to learn this? What is the significance of learning this? So one of the reasons I must say is that this type of a structure is the most frequently used sentence types. And not only this, for this particular lesson is not only for English language learners, like I said before, it is also for IELTS aspirants, because there are myriad topics in the speaking test of IELTS where you get situations related to the past. Let's know what exactly these are. So those of you who are trying to prepare for IELTS and are a bit worried about the speaking test, let me show you some samples so that you get to know why learning the structure simple past is important. So you can see here that there is a topic of cue card which says describe a long journey you went on. Of course, your past. Look at this, describe one of your childhood memories. Or this, a situation when you celebrated your achievement, perhaps a happy event of your life, or maybe an occasion when you had to get up early. All these situations altogether are related to your past. Hence, what is significant here is the application of the right tense. If you mess it up here, you're going to lose marks in grammatical accuracy. And of course, all English language learners, this is a structure which we would be using widely, be it any topic which you need to discuss relating to events that happened in your life in the past. You are going to use this, and this is highly common. So let's get to the crux. Number one, we need to know the structure that we are going to use. In fact, for those who are complete beginners when it comes to English language, let's know a quick basics. Whenever we have to make any sentence when it comes to English, you need not translate it much. Just apply this simple formula. That is, if you talk, we are going to definitely take somebody's name, or it could be us that we're talking about. Such people, they are called subjects. And these subjects do some action, and that's the verb. So if I make it simpler, every sentence would have a subject, and that subject is doing some action. For example, I am teaching you right now. I would be the subject, and teaching becomes my verb. Or if I say you are listening to me, you is the subject and listening is the action that you do. In short, listen is the verb. So you must know that every sentence will have a structure where we put a subject and we put a verb. Now, these verbs, that is the action words, they are in three forms. My reason for taking this in this particular tutorial is to make you aware of certain terms that I may use which should not confuse you. I'm going to use these terms in the remaining slides. So please notice that every verb comes in three forms. I would call it V1, V2, V3. What are these? So it's very simple. You can find a list of all the verb forms in any grammar book, and you can find it easily on Google. Just Google it, verb forms, and you'll get it. I would just like to show you what it actually means so that I don't sound too confusing to you right now. For example, if the verb is ask, the second and third form would be asked. If it is play, it's played, played. If it is sleep, it's slept, slept. Or take, took, taken, swim, swam, swum, or maybe bring, brought, brought, and many more. So every verb would have a second form, and every verb would have a third form. But why are we learning this? Because there is a structure that we need to follow. Past tense is one and the only tense where we use the verb in its second form. And if we don't do that, we are going to commit a mistake. So this change in the form of the verb from the first to the second form is really important to note, because that's how we understand that we're talking about our past. So it is going to be subject plus the verb in its second form. So, and as I said, it's the only sentence type where the second form is used. We don't use it anywhere else. So it's kind of a uniqueness of the past tense. So what's this verb to? It is nothing but, if it is call, it becomes called. If it is speak, it becomes spoke. If it is write, you'd say I wrote. If there was something which was handed over to somebody, instead of give, you use the verb gave in that place. So this is the structure that you're going to use whenever you're going to make sentences of past. Let's take some examples. Let's think of some actions that we did in the past. What are these actions of past? These could be actions that you possibly did this morning. These could be actions that happened, let's say, yesterday, or these could be actions that happened possibly last year. Any of these particular points in time that I talk about, we have a past, and that's where we use past tense. Let's go deeper and let's try to see some sentences where we use past tense and notice how the verb is used in its second form, that is the past form. Let's have a look at it. For example, this morning I woke up at 6. So that wake changes to woke. Or I attended a meeting that really happened. I taught my students, and now I am teaching you. I taught my students, that was the past. My husband gave me a gift, and she helped me. Let's say somebody gave me some support or assistance. I would say she helped me. So that help comes with an ed, which is the second form. But they moved to Canada, or maybe my father asked me to leave. So notice the transition of the verb, which is in its second form. Let's take some more examples. Let's go to a couple of years ago or last year. Let's take such examples. Let's say last year she met with an accident. So whether it is this morning or whether it is last year or whether it is many, many years ago, we're going to use simple past tense. Now let's see, in 2020, doctors treated many patients. The pandemic hit the world and doctors treated many patients. And yes, because of the pandemic, most people lost their lives. I quit my job and many companies fired employees, and children worked hard because they had to attend classes online, and both wanted to talk to me. Now look at this, everywhere we have the verb in its past form, and that's the second form. And if you don't use this, that's going to cost you marks in your exam, or that is going to confuse your listener, because they might perceive it to be your routine. So if I say I wake up at 6, that's my routine. But if I talk about a particular day and the time, I would say I woke up at 6. Or if I say I attend meeting, that's my routine. I attend meeting every day. And today I attended a meeting. So we need to make the transition, else we are going to confuse our audience. Now that's about how we make sentences in the past, but that's not all. We also make sentences which are negative when we wish to say that certain things did not take place. Notice I said did not. So yes, when you want to say that you did not do a particular action, you're going to use this structure, which is the subject, whoever it is, who did not. Now notice that instead of putting the verb in the past form, I use the verb, the action, in its first form. That's because we already have did, which is indicating that we are already talking in the past. So you do not have to put it in the past form again. By that I mean, let's take an example first. I did not meet him yesterday. This is the correct structure. I happen to hear it frequently when people say I did not met him, I did not did it. These are incorrect. So when that did comes into picture, you're not going to use a past verb form again. So I did not meet him, she did not get the prize, or we did not celebrate his birthday. So we celebrated, the opposite becomes we did not celebrate his birthday. So please ensure that did, the presence of did, should not make you put everything else in past again. You need to put that in the first form. That's not all. Let's also learn how we make questions. Before that, you can pause the video and try to put it in the comment section, the things that you did or you did not do this morning, and practice this, all right? So I would now move to the segment where I would like to teach you how we frame questions in simple past tense. So whenever you want to make questions, whatever is the existing structure, be it negative sentences or sentences where you ask questions, you always need a helping verb. In this case, that helping verb is did. So whenever you ask a question, you have a helping verb followed by the subject, followed by the verb. Now, in this case, the structure would go this way. When you have a close-ended question, it could be did, put the subject, put the action. Or maybe you have an open-ended question where you need more details. You put why, what, when, where, which, who, how, all that. That's what I have indicated with the word WH. So you put the WH family, you put did, you put subject, and you put the action word. So let's look at some examples to get some more clarity. Now look at the sentences that I have now. Did you invite him? Yes, I invited him. Or no, I did not invite him. Did you ask him to leave? So see, did you ask? Did, the subject and the verb. Did Robert arrive early today? Did and combination arrive. Or did you take medicines on time? Did Sally and George fight again? Did you cancel the meeting? And now look at the transition. When I have a question that for which I need an answer with more details, I need to add that WH family. So did you invite him is one question. I get to know that somebody has been invited, and now I'm like, why did you invite him? So there's a why before that did. Or when did he leave? I want to know the time. How did he arrive here? Which medicine did you take? What did they do? Why did they fight? And why did you cancel the meeting? So look at this. These are simple structures. You don't have to get confused at all. So there are sentences when we talk about situations, we did something, we are only going to use the verb in its past form, that is V2. We make it negative, we put a did not in V1. And when we make a question, we use did, subject, and the verb, or why, when, where, which, how, did, subject, and V1. So you have all the examples in front of you. Feel free to put your sentences to practice this in the comment section, and that will allow you to absorb this pattern and speak with more and more clarity. So what's next? What needs to be done? Simple practice. What you need to do is understand this concept and practice, because be it regular speech or speeches that you need to deliver in an examination situation like IELTS, this is a structure that you must practice. right? So if this video added any value, then do not forget to subscribe to this channel so that you can get some more valuable lessons. Like it, share it with people who are English language learners or IELTS test takers. This definitely can be a valuable content to them. And do not forget to put in the comment section your own sentences and the fact whether this video was helpful to you. And I will see you in the next video tutorial. Till then, happy learning.